It's time now for a look at least in local news. And the news took a Glenn County jury about an hour before returning with guilty verdicts on all 6 counts yesterday against Larry Jenkins, who has now been tried and convicted for a third time for the kidnapping and murders of Terry and Michael Ralston, which occurred here in Wayne County back in January of 1993. Facts in the case have never changed and were the same back in 93, again in 2014. Once again this week in the courtroom, the facts are crystal clear that Larry Jenkins, age 17 at the time, walked into the Ralston's family-owned laundromat located on Macon Street while Terry and Michael Ralston were in the process of cleaning up the store for the evening, emptying the machines which ran on quarters. Jenkins, armed with a .22 caliber pistol, forced the Ralstons into their white Chevy Lumina van, drove them to a wooded area off Cowboy Road, and shot and killed both of them, shooting Terry Ralston one time in the back of her skull and Michael Ralston 6 times, 4 shots in his back, 1 in his shoulder and 1 in the back of his head. The next day, Larry Jenkins drove the van to Briarwood Apartments and met up with David Wilkerson, emptied the quarters on the bed, and those two, along with Jermon Campbell and Bernice Durden, divided the quarters up among themselves, wrapped them, and then drove around Jesup, attempting to cash in the quarters. A bolo was put out on the van, and police spotted the van. The 4 men jumped out of the van and ran from police. Larry Jenkins grabbed a gun from the van he was seen throwing the gun into some bushes. He was later arrested. Police found Michael Ralston's driver's license in Larry Jenkins' pocket. Gun was found and turned over to police, and ballistics from the gun matched the ballistics found in the Ralston's body. In his closing arguments Thursday to the jury, District Attorney Keith Higgins says the facts are clear. Larry Jenkins had Michael Ralston's learner's permit. He had the murder weapon. He had the quarters from the laundromat. He had the white Chevy Lumina van. Again, he asked the jury to come back with guilty on all 6 counts, and that's exactly what they did. In written statements given to the GBI from both Jermon Campbell and David Wilkerson, Larry Jenkins, when asked how he got the van, stated he had killed a lady. Again, Jenkins found guilty Thursday on all 6 counts. 2 counts of murder in the shooting deaths of Michael and Terry Ralston, 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of armed robbery, and 1 count of theft by taking. Judge Scarlett merged the armed robbery and theft by taking charge into 1 count. Jenkins was sentenced to serve 4 life sentences in prison. Again, the trial began Monday with opening arguments down in Glenn County and ends on Thursday with guilty verdicts. Once again, this is the 3rd time that defendant Larry Jenkins has been convicted. Convicted back in 1995, convicted in 2014, and now convicted 1 more time in the year 2025. Ralston family members in the courtroom were relieved once again that the man who robbed Terry and Michael Ralston and shot and killed them back in 1993 will remain in prison, where he's been for the past 32 years. Jenkins was 17 at the time of this crime. He's now in his 50s. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor or the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. The news, both the Wayne County Commissioners and the City Commissioners have meetings this coming week. Monday at 6 p.m. at the County Commissioners meeting room. The Wayne County Commissioners have their regularly scheduled meeting for the month of April. Under new business, consider and approve beer and wine license for Sonny's Corner. Building Inspector Kyle Jones will consider an approved permit fee schedule revision. Tax Commissioner Adley Harnage on the agenda for several items. Approve resolution to write off ad valorem tax bills $5 or less. Also approve the Tax Commissioner to correct clerical error prior to getting the corrections from the Tax Assessor's Office. And also consider and approve the Tax Commissioner to approve contract for service agreements for both the City of Odom and Scriven. Road Superintendent Kevin McReady on the agenda for 2 items. Consider and approve bid for zero-turn lawnmower and consider and approve bid for water pump. Sheriff Chuck Mosley on the agenda. Consider and approve bid for 4 2025 Ford F-150 pickup trucks. Rec Director Lamar Eccles on the agenda. Consider and approve bids for football field lights. Election Supervisor Robbie Smart to talk election compensation. Also on the agenda, consider and approve bids for transit metal building. Consider and approve audit for the District Attorney's Office. Consider and approve resolution amending the ARP budget for 2024. And Judge Ray Gordon signed bridge dedication, Walter Griffiths Bridge. Several board appointments, items with the administrator, items with the county clerk, items with commissioners, executive session. They do not have one. Again, that's set for Monday at 6 p.m. City of Jesup Commissioners meet at City Hall at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, April the 14th. Under old business, approval of cancellation fee for fire platform truck. Second reading of the ordinance amendment, animal control fees and fines. Approval of South Macon Street connector change order. Discussion of mandatory water and sewer connections. There is public participation on the agenda for Tuesday. New business, awarding a bid for Cherry Street resurfacing. Discussion of creating financial solutions. Discussion of 3rd quarter financial report. An executive session discuss personnel. Items with the city manager, items with the commissioners, items with the mayor. All that's set for Tuesday, April 14th at City Hall. Wayne County Board of Tourism Spring Fair is open this weekend. Again, they've had good crowds. They've got tonight and Saturday. Again, the admission price is $15. That includes all the rides. Some rides, they state, may be limited by height. The time Monday through Thursday, 6 to 10, and Friday and Saturday, 6 to 11. Need more information, go to their Tourism Board website. Also, they have this Saturday's River Run. This is a free event, but each participant must sign a participation waiver. Two different paddles this Saturday, one an 11-mile, which begins at the Gleason Copeland Landing. The other a 16-mile paddle, which begins at JC Landing. If you need more information or to register, call the Tourism Board office at 912-427-3233. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, other commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes of news, the Wayne County High School Band will be performing a free event this coming Monday at the high school auditorium, as they wanted to show their appreciation for the community for all this support and help funding their trip to New York, as they'll be performing at Carnegie Hall. Monday, the band will perform the show that they'll be performing in New York, so a chance to get a preview of what will take place in New York. And this is a free event, once again, Monday at the high school auditorium. The band heads to New York on April the 17th and performs at Carnegie Hall on that Saturday, April the 19th. Tickets for the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce's annual post-legislative luncheon are on sale at the Chamber office. They're $30 for Chamber members, $40 for non-members, but everyone's invited to come here from our local representatives. Again, guest speakers at the lunch will be State Senator Blake Tillery, along with State Representatives Stephen Meeks and Buddy DeLoach. The date of the luncheon is April 22nd. It'll be held from 11 to 1 at Coastal Pines Technical College. If you need tickets or information, contact the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce at 912-427-2028. Chamber also is hosting a cookout for elected officials this coming Tuesday, April 15th. Again, it takes place at the Wayne County Farmers Market at 6 p.m. Also, the Chamber getting ready for their second annual gala, Disco Nights at Miami Lights. Tickets for that event are on sale. It takes place May 2nd, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Pine Forest Country Club. It features the band from Jacksonville, the Company Band. They'll have hors d'oeuvres, dancing, fun-filled activities, including a raffle, live and silent auctions. Tickets are $50 for Chamber members, $75 for non-members, but again, everyone's invited to attend. Once again, the date of that event is set for May 2nd, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Pine Forest Country Club. Community-wide blood drive set for Monday, April 21st at 12 to 6 p.m. at the Calvary Baptist Church Gymnasium, 415 East Cherry Street. This is sponsored by the Jesup Shriners Ladies Auxiliary. To schedule an appointment, visit the redcrossblood.org website, enter Jesup to schedule an appointment. They say walk-ins will be welcomed. And the Shine the Light seminar is scheduled for April 15th at the high school commons area. It's a seminar on human trafficking. We'll feature Rhett Burford from the Jesup Police Department, others who are involved in educating the community about the subject. Survivor Christy Lee, who resides in Long County, has written a book on the subject entitled I Am Her. She will be on hand as well. Once again, this event takes place at the high school commons area. Again, the date April 15th from 6:30 to 8:30. Again, it's a free event and the public is invited to attend. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.